What up, YouTube? Uh, just want to come to y'all, man. Just talk to y'all about um, gifts of a father. We were talking about it this morning on the prayer line, where excuse me, let me turn this down. Um, it was just some things that were said that I heard from the callers, and we were all just talking about what the Father is doing for us and what it takes to know the Father. First of all, in order to know the Father, our spiritual Father, you have to have a love. You have to know how to love, because without love, you can't know a Father, and that's testimony to us today. Testimony to the young men and young women of today. Father's been missing for a long time uh, because some of us didn't know how to be a father because we didn't have a father growing up. So today I want to talk about the gifts of fatherhood and how we can implement that into this world today. Um, and I don't mean to talk about myself, but like today, you know, I called up my kids and I wanted to talk with them, this morning. So I called them early in the morning to find out like if they're still doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I called them and they're up on their tablets, doing what kids do. And I just asked them, I said, "Hey, son, uh, have y'all brushed your teeth this morning?" And they was like, "No, we haven't." I'm like, "Well, isn't that more important than your tablet at this point in time?" And he was like, "No." I'm like, "Come on, man, go brush your teeth. I mean, I can smell your breath through the phone," which I was just joking with him, but that was just accountability for them, because kids, if they're not in routine with what they've learned somewhere else, when they go to, or where they, if they're not in routine where they're usually at, then when they go somewhere else, they'll probably lose that routine because they're kids. They're not worried about. They're not focused on it. So we have to call them up, and that's just what I'm telling some of the fathers that's watching this video, or mothers that's watching this video. If you can pour that into your children, really, this video is for men to actually step up and be fathers. Like, this is the time. You can call your children up right now and say, "Hey, I'm just calling to check on you," or see if you want to come over the crib. Give mama a break and let mama take care of some things she need to take care of. Let her get a break. So if you ain't working and you at home right now without your children, and you don't see your children very often, man, go pick your kids up and go spend time with them, man. Because the babies, they need us right now. They need us to step up and be real leaders uh, in our household, in our community, in just this world, period. We need real fathers to step up. And what the gifts of a father is, uh, the first gift is the gift of prophecy. And what that is to speak forth with rightness and insight, especially enabled by the Spirit of God. And what that means is to be honest. Be truthful with your kids, and love like God loved, like our spiritual Father loves, like our ultimate Father loves, and even love like our brother Jesus loved. Other one is ministry, to minister and render general service to meet the needs of others. Now, that one in itself, that should be very self-explanatory. If you don't have kids of your own, or say you do have kids of your own, but you're with another woman that has kids, you are now supposed to be the father to those kids as you are to your own kids. Understand, you can't be a father to someone else's kids if you're not a father to your own kids. That's just backwards. And the reason I got this song playing, this Michael Jackson song, is because, men, you're not alone. You're not alone in this. You're not alone in not knowing how to be a father, or not uh, not having a father growing up, and even the young kids nowadays. Like, you're not alone in this. Some of us that are older than you grew up without a father too. The ones that it probably your father, or your father is probably the one that didn't grow up with, or that did grow up without a father and doesn't know how. But now we have to sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. Fathers should be able to sharpen fathers. Dads should be able to sharpen dads. Mothers sharpen mothers. You get my drift? So, another one is teaching. We must teach our kids this this way of honesty and being trustworthy. Because if you're like me, those broken promises, that right there, uh, it's just it's not good. I mean, if you're gonna teach, you must apply that to yourselves. So you got to hold yourself accountable. You have to be the example. Um, Exhortation, to call aside for the purpose to make an appeal, which that's in Acts 4 and 36. Uh, when you recognize that, something is wrong, or not even that something is wrong, you have to call it out and you have to talk about it. We must help one another. And give advice, man. Give advice. If you got some advice to give somebody about parenthood, about fatherhood, motherhood, give advice, and not for judgment, but to sharpen one another, so we don't make the same choices over and over again, so we don't repeat the cycle. And then leadership, to step up. To be a father, you must be a great leader. But in order to be a leader, you must first learn to follow. And for us, like myself growing up, didn't have that many examples to follow as far as uh, my father, because he didn't know how to be one. But that's neither here nor there. We have a great relationship. I love my pops. I love my father. But all that to say this, there were other examples out there. Like, I talked about it before. His name is Carl Gore, and I watched him taking care of his children and his wife. It was my grandfather. I watched how he took care of my mother and my aunts and even my uncles, and how he still treated my grandmother. Um, there's so many that I can name, but those are just the key ones right there. And then, of course, television shows, looking up to the image of a father on television. So I did follow, and I did learn these things from other men that I were around and things that I watched on TV. And I always just wanted to be a father. So I'm a great leader and a great follower. Um, and then mercy, to relate to others, to have empathy and respect, and to be honest. You know, uh, we all relate to one another. Men, no matter what color you are, we all relate to one another, and we're supposed to sharpen one another. We're supposed to help one another. We're not supposed to kill each other. We're not supposed to talk down on one another. We're not supposed to do that in front of our children. If we do that in front of or when we do that in front of our children then take on that same trait, and they take it to school, they take it to wherever they are, and they start to develop these characteristics that they really don't know where they come from, or they're watching stuff on television, listening to the music that's telling them all of these things, because they don't have real leaders, real men stepping up and showing them what a real man or a real father is. And this is what we need today. Um, you know, I was listening to this song earlier. I'm a Michael Jackson fan. So the song, it was with Stevie Wonder and a bunch of other guys. Just give me a second. Uh, Goodness gracious. Sometimes it just don't work the way you want it to. But hey, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. The video was sent to me, so I'm gonna get there. But I was listening to the song, man, and y'all know I always come with y'all with song, and it was on time for the message that I had for the Bible study that I wanted to have, which is what we're doing now. I don't like be a whole hour long, but my time is not my time. It's not my time, and it's God's time. So I shut up when He tells me to shut up. Yeah. So this song, you know, with Lionel Richie and Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, Michael McDonald. Uh, it's so many. James Ingram. I can name them all. You know, even dang, what's her name? Not Dolly Parton. The one that sings "Girls Just Want to Have Fun." I can't really think of her name right now. But this is what we need right now. You know, because we are the world. We are the church. The church is not a building. The church is you. And it tells you that in the word when it says that this is your temple. This is our temple. Our spirit lives inside of this temple. And we are the world, as they're saying. We are the children. Uh, we were children before. We grew up and we became grown, but we're still children in God's eyes. We're still His children, and we still must do right by our own kids, which are still His kids. So we make the world go around, men and women. This is what we're supposed to do. We are the world, and we have done this to this world. And now we must step up and become real men and women of God and real leaders and allow our kids to follow us. But we have to be the example. I talk about that a lot because I'm very passionate about it. We need to be the example. Do not tell your children to do something that you're not doing. You are not being a leader. You are the pot calling the kettle black. So, with that being said, let's learn from one another. Let's sharpen one another. Let's help each other. Let's give to one another. And let's love each other. I love y'all. Blessings to y'all. Knowledge.